A lot of people stalk me because they're just so fucking interested in what I'm doing. It's just crazy how many people favorite my tweets. Like this morning I had one that it's just going crazy with people favoriting it, but they won't retweet it because of course that would validate it. Heart rate at 71 for this comment, sorry. My name is Chris Dancy. I'm a health and well-being professional, and I've been called the world's most connected human. We have a pretty simple house here in Denver. Most people won't even notice a lot of the tech in the house. You'll start to notice little cameras and other sensors in the rooms. Next is my office, and it's kind of overwhelming, so we can check that out. There's some sensors over on the desk too, the cube sensor. There's another sensor there that I use just for ambient voice. Also, all the lights in here are all controlled through Wi-Fi and actually have triggers. So if I leave the house, they turn off. If I come home, they turn on. Other things like there's a rule for if I get too excited, my heartbeat gets too high, they'll actually dim. For example, when I come home after a business trip, I have a setting to kind of relax and kind of welcome me into to my house. And then matching the lights, I use moods on Wi-Fi stereo to go ahead and create musical moods. I think in the future, the home and the health environment will merge. Obviously, that's why I call my system internet, right? Because it's not about the internet, it's about the internet. They will merge. I also think technology should be calm. We're so used to having things just flash at us. So it's all purposely designed, but I designed it for low friction collection. You don't know what's happening. High value, calm return, right? 5 years ago, I just said to myself, I'm 40. I don't know if I'm gonna have a job when I'm 50. I work in tech. I just said, if things are moving this fast, I need to understand what it's gonna be like in 10 years. So I looked at all the things I could do, and one of the things that really interested me was personal informatics. So I slowly started bringing in systems. At first, it was just if I put something on social media, I saved a copy of it. Then I became interested, well, where was I when I saved a copy? Who was I with? Here I am 5 years later, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of systems that record information on me at any given moment. I think at conferences sometimes, people don't know what to say, so they do that uncomfortable, are you recording me? Even if I don't have Google Glass on, they'll ask me questions about, why do you wear all that? Or what can you tell me about all that? Yet you wouldn't say that to someone who had an insulin pump, or you wouldn't say that to someone who had a pacemaker. We pathologize tech, just like we used to hurt people who use social media. Now we're doing it to people who use information. Cut this out. You don't need to fetishize me, and you don't need to pathologize me. I am you, just a few years from now. So just like the infrastructure closet, this is the closet where I physically plug in all the devices. That's a 36-port USB hub that actually keeps everything running. It's a lot to recharge. And then, of course, this wall, I've got a little bit of stuff on Michael Jackson. I got to, when I was a child, had a relationship with Michael Jackson that was quite unique. But I enjoy Michael Jackson because I think he's probably one of the earliest quantified selfers. I don't think he ever actually participated in the environment as much as he saw the environment as other people saw him. So he was constantly looking at the world as it would relate to him. And I love that concept. I love the idea of self-surveillance. And people always want to talk about privacy. When you talk about privacy, privacy is a privileged condition. The more affluent you are, the more private you can be. Poor people don't have an option to be private. So when people ask me about being private, I'm like, well, why don't you ask me what you really mean? What's it like to be rich? And because I can live a life where I can see my own behavior and I can see the behaviors of, it's hard to look at you three and not see just mountains of information, how you're standing, where the temperature's warming around you. It's like being Terminator. It's hard to then walk out and see people who don't have access to much. They don't worry about being private, they worry about eating. And when they're eating, the government's controlling, and churches and charities, and it's very awkward right now. So this is my bedroom. A lot of people don't show, I guess a lot of people don't do tours of their bedrooms, but to me, the bedroom is probably one of the most important places you can be because of your sleep, and sleep is so critical to us functioning well. You'll see there's a sensor over next to that nightstand, and it actually works in conjunction with one of the sensors on my wrists. During truly intimate situations, I just have a no sensor policy, but it's also important for me to know, unfortunately, how they made me feel. And a lot of that guesswork can be taken out of the way with a little bit of information. I think I have the best porn tape on the planet if you just want to actually watch the data. And this room over here is actually a very simple, but it's purposeful in its design and its layout because it's the only room in the house where you can't get a cell signal. This is really my signal-free zone because I don't mind collecting data, but sometimes I don't want to be receiving data. So oftentimes I'll just sit here and read and just relax. It's kind of nice. These remind me of grandma chairs. Everyone loves grandma chairs. I'm often asked about, is everybody going to be like me in the future? And I think it's important to remember that everybody's like me now, except they don't really think about it. Your phone's already collecting more information than all these gadgets together. We just don't have access to it. If you've ever used a credit card or you use one today, you're already being tracked. Your car has an onboard computer that's tracking everywhere it's going and how you're driving it. A lot of insurance companies will give you a discount if you let them have that information. Today, everyone is being tracked in every way possible. The difference is, that's Big Brother. What I'm talking about is taking control of it for yourself. That's Big Mother. And when you have a relationship that's mothering and kind, that's a lot different than one that's bossy and controlled, and that's the world we live in now.